Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the third part of the series, and we're going to be touching upon relational environment. How do we create relational coherence? And just by hearing the word relational coherence, it's really the harmony between self and others. I think this is one of the oldest polarities that we have to deal in life. And I always feel like as within, so without, as above, so below. Coherence relationship is really about starting the relationship with the self and how can we be in relational with other people harmoniously. So coming back to the graph right here, and it starts to feel a little bit complicated if all those things are going on. So I invite you to focus on the green words, right? In our human life, we only have two needs, very simple primordial needs. Number one is the safe to be me, safe to be who you are. And the other one is to safe to belong. And in a very loose term, safe to be me is reflected under the word authenticity, right? I think authenticity is one of a need. Most people think that being who you are or safe to be who you are is one of those things that is, a privilege, right? Oh, you have all the things that's going on in your life. This is why you can now focus on being who you are, which is kind of true because when we are in survival mode, we always prioritize attachment. As mammals, having the safety to belong is a requirement. Safety to be you, to be me, or to be authentic is not, right? But that being said, the whole picture is not complete and we would not feel fully alive if we're just too busy surviving, fulfilling expectations, feeling responsibilities and commitments and safety to belong, right? And this is where the fitting in comes in. Over on the left, on this side, I don't know where's left or right. On this side is really about fulfilling expectation, and on this side is about self-expression. In a different way, this circle is really selfish, right? When you try to be you, often when we get remarks of trying to be ourselves, we tend to get this remark of being selfish. And on the other side, when we're feeling expectations, when we're feeling creating attachment, we are being selfless, right? And we all know being completely selfish is egoistic, and being completely selfless is also egoistic. And this is where it's not mostly referenced because we find a lot of value, moral responsibility to be selfless, to be giving, to be serving. And this is where I feel like a lot of the spiritual and personal growth side, the emphasis on this side of things can get lost. And what happens again, as I mentioned in the previous video, whatever that we are doing suddenly stops being sustainable. It's not enjoyable, and we get burnout. We spend too much time doing here. But being here, we start to become completely irrelevant and unable to connect ourselves with the wider connection of the community. For example, we cannot earn money if we cannot provide value to other people's life. So how do we actually create relational coherence? Is to be in the middle, right? And I've coined this new word, this green word right here. And let me just highlight this for you. It's called self-fullness. Just like the word mindfulness. Self-fullness is this idea of being fully present. And there's come to a point where there's no boundaries or barrier between you and others. That whatever loving things you do for yourself is a loving thing that you do for others as well. And I can give you an example. When you're kind to yourself, usually you're kind to others. When you love yourself, you love one another. And I really fundamentally believe that the world is the way it is, so chaotic and a lot of problems, is because people don't love themselves. People hate themselves, so they project their problems onto other people, onto issues, and so on and so forth. So we need to learn how to fill up our cup and in that sense, we can be in service in the best possible way. One last thing I want you guys to take note of is this idea that this is a me conversation. If it's more of a passion, authenticity is more like a me conversation, right? So me, the I conversation. And this is where all the Western philosophy comes through. It's all a lot of emphasis on the individual. And this is more the Eastern philosophy where it's on the collective perspective, more the collective emphasis. It's more on others, right? So this is me versus you, and the self-fullness is where the integration, the middle path of bridging the gap is continue to talk about the conversation of we. So if you can go into relationships and conversations coming from a place of a we perspective, inviting people to solve a problem, inviting people to take responsibility, inviting people to do things together and bring forth happiness and and create a shared value experience. This is more of an effective way of creating harmony in your relationships and your life. Because what benefits you benefit others, and what benefit others benefits you. So this is what it means to establish relational coherence. I'll speak to you to the next video on the physical environment.